الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ومن اتبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. To proceed. Today's lesson, بإذن الله تعالى, we are going to speak about a particularly exciting subject relating to Arabic grammar, and that is al-huruf al-nasikha, or al-huruf that alter or abrogate or change the meaning of al-jumlatul ismiyah. They have several other names too. The most common being inna wa akhawatuha. Inna wa akhawatuha. Inna wa akhawatuha is a term which many of you will be familiar with, and it relates to the harfun called inna wa and akhawatuha. Akhawatu means sisters, ha referring to inna. So there are a group of harufun whose function is to alter the meaning of al-jumlatul ismiyah, and depending upon the harfun we have a meaning which is different, becomes manifest in al-jumlatul ismiyah. So they are most commonly known by inna wa akhawatuha, and they are also called, as I mentioned, al-harufu an-nasikhatu, or the letters that alter or change or abrogate. They are also known as al-harufu al-mushabbihatu bil-fi'l. Al-mushabbihatu bil-fi'l, meaning the harufun that are similar to al-fi'l, the verb. And that's why this subject is particularly interesting, because we have a harfun which obviously is different to an ismun and a fi'lun, because there are only three types of words in Arabic: ismun wa fi'lun wa harfun. So we are talking about a harfun, but it is similar in the way that it alters an ismun to a fi'lun, which is why it's called mushabbihun bil fi'li, resembling a fi'lun. So there are a number of these types of harufun. In fact, generally they are categorized or identified by 6, even though some of the grammarians have also included la, which we will explain, also being from al-harufu an-nasikha. In this lesson we want to introduce these 6, give examples, and explain how and why they affect al-jumlatul ismiyah. And in the next lesson, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, we will speak about the different parts of inna wa akhawatuha. So to begin, therefore, we want to mention the first one, which is called, as the title suggests, inna. Inna. Now we will have encountered inna frequently in both Al-Quran and in the Sunnah. We will also use it in our speech and generally in Arabic texts. Why? Because the meaning of inna is that it expresses what we call a tawqeed. A tawqeed. And that's important to remember. A tawqidu. A tawqidu, it's an affirmation. So when inna enters upon al-jumlatul ismiyah, which we know comprises of al-mubtada'u and al-khabaru, then inna will have the effect of a tawqeed emphasis. And that's the reason why, or one of the reasons why, it's considered to be similar to a fi'lun, because it has the effect of saying or communicating the meaning of I affirm, u'akkidu, from the verb akkada, u'akkidu, and then whatever it is that al-jumlatul ismiyya comprises of. For example, if we say al-ilmu mufidun, mufidun, a sentence whose meaning we will all agree upon, insha'Allah ta'ala, which is al-ilmu, knowledge, or the knowledge, if we are going to translate it literally, the knowledge, mufidun, beneficial, meaning knowledge is beneficial. A principle that everybody would agree upon. Now, this is what we call al-jumlatul ismiyya, that we know now with, insha'Allah, absolute certainty. It begins with al-ismu, which is called al-mubtada'u, and it is followed by al-khabaru, which is another ismun. The first is ma'rifatun, the second is nakiratun, known and unknown. Now, as we said, if we enter inna upon it, inna al-ilmu mufidun, what effect, first of all, has inna had upon the meaning? Well, we said it is for a tawqid, emphasis. So we are now saying that indeed, or verily, or certainly, al-ilmu mufidun, knowledge is beneficial. However, there's a mistake here. Rather, we need to make a change. That's why these letters are both called an-nasikha, those of changing, and mushabbihu bil-fi'li, resembling a fi'l. Because just as a fi'l that affects an ismun renders it mansubun, then similarly this inna here, this harfun, renders al-mubtada'u mansubun, and therefore we place a fatha upon al-ilma. Mufidun remains marfu'un. So grammatically, therefore, we say that inna tansibu al-mubtada, and that's important to remember. Inna tansibu al-mubtada wa tarfa'u al-khabara. Inna tansibu al-mubtada wa tarfa'u al-khabara. Inna, it makes mansub al-mubtada, which here is al-ilma, and it raises or makes marfu'un al-khabar, which here is mufidun. Inna al-ilma mufidun. Now we, in the following lessons, bi'idhnillah ta'ala, we are going to speak in more detail about the actual two parts of inna, because the first ismun is called ismu inna, and the second ismun is called khabaru inna, but that's for a later lesson. In this lesson, we simply want to introduce the different types of al-huruf, or akhawatuha, its related sisters, and mention by way of example. So we hope that is clear, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. It's not particularly complicated, as is obvious, in that all we have to remember is that inna tansibu al-ilma wa tarfa'u mufid. So it makes mansub al-ilm and it makes marfu'un mufid. So to mention, therefore, examples, everybody likes examples because they help to consolidate what you've understood, and you can learn by way of example, because then you can imitate them. So using kalamullahi azza wa jalla he mentioned wa. Inna rabbaka, inna rabbaka ladhu maghfiratin linnasi. Wa inna rabbaka ladhu maghfiratin linnasi. This ayah, or this portion from the ayah in Surah Ar-Ra'd, Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned that indeed Rabbaka ladhu, indeed Rabbaka, your Lord, ladhu is the owner of maghfirah, forgiveness, linnasi, for people, meaning he is the one who forgives people. However, the point to note here is Rabbaka. Remember that inna has the effect of a tawqeed in meaning, and in the way that it makes itself manifest upon the word ismu inna is that it makes it mansubun. So ordinarily it would be Rabbuka and it becomes Rabba. Rabbaka, it becomes mansubun because of inna. That therefore we hope bi'idhnillahi ta'ala is clear. And indeed Rabbaka, your Lord, is the one who is the owner. Dhu relates to ownership of mercy, forgiveness rather, linnasi, for the people. That therefore is inna. Our first harfun min hurufin nasikha. Now, related to inna, or very closely, is anna. Many people confuse inna and anna. In meaning, it's the same. So we say it is a tawqeed. This is the meaning that anna conveys. It's one-off affirmation. Hasanan, it is one-off affirmation. We're confirming what it is that follows. So we can say therefore, as in the ayah, i'lamu anna. Note that this is now anna and not inna. It's now anna. We'll explain why. i'lamu anna Allah shadidul iqab. This ayah is shadidul iqabi. Right, this is from the ayah in Surah Al-Ma'idah. Surah Al-Ma'idah. Now, i'lamu, we know, is fi'lu amrin, it's a command form. Have knowledge. So the deen of Allah Azza wa Jalla is not built upon jahl, it's built upon knowledge, with adillah, with evidences. Allah Azza wa Jalla therefore said, i'lamu anna Allah. So here we have our harfun that we're speaking about. Anna. Its meaning is a tawqeed. It enters upon al-jumlatul ismiyya, and therefore here is ismu inna, lafdhu jalala. Hasanan. What do we place upon the ha huna? Allah Azza wa Jalla, remember, tansibu al-mubtada. So it becomes anna Allah shadidul iqabi. That's an idafa construct. That's khabaru anna, and that is ismu anna. Now, you're probably wondering, so what therefore is the difference between inna and anna? The difference in a meaning is that there is no difference. They're both related to tawqid, but when are they used? Inna is used at the beginning of the sentence, and anna is used after the sentence begins. So to connect, in effect, in meaning, that which came before with that which comes afterwards. So it's not particularly complicated. You just have to remember that inna is lil ibtida. It's for the beginning of our sentence, and anna comes with that which follows the beginning, whatever it may be. So our first two huruf or harfani is inna and anna. The third one, therefore, is ka'anna. The third one is ka'anna. Ka'anna. What does ka'anna mean? We say that its meaning is of at-tashbih. What does at-tashbih mean? A-tashbih. At-tashbih, it means resemblance. Because we said at the beginning, didn't we, that these al-hurufu are known as al-mushabbihu bil-fi'li. They resemble al-fi'l. So that's from the verb ashbaha. To resemble, or he resembled. Now, its meaning therefore is one of resemblance. And remember, this is one of the reasons why these al-haruf are considered to be similar to al-fi'l, because it's as though that when we're beginning a sentence with one of them, such as ka'anna, I am saying resembling. Ka'anna aliyan asadun. Ka'anna aliyan asadun. What does that mean? Well, if we leave ka'anna for the moment, aliyan is the name Ali, asadun is a lion. So if we didn't have ka'anna and that was a normal al-jumlatul ismiya, then it would mean Ali is a lion. Now, of course, that wouldn't make sense saying that Ali is a lion, unless of course there was a lion called Ali. But if you're talking about a human being, you wouldn't say that a human being is a lion. But if you enter ka'anna on it, then the meaning makes complete sense, because you're now saying Ali resembles a lion, and a lion is known for what? Ash-shuja', courage, wal-quwwah, and power. So it is as though you are saying Ali is like a lion. Ali is like a lion. And of course, aliyan here is mansubun. And why is it mansubun? Because we know that كأن تنصب المبتدأ وترفع الخبر. It makes mansub al-mubtada, which is the ismu in كأن here, and it renders marfu'un the khabaru كأن. So if we take, for example, in Al-Quran, in كأن في أذنيه وقر, the ayah in Surah Luqman, where Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَإِذَا تُتْلَى عَلَيْهِ آيَاتُنَا وَلَّا مُسْتَكْبِرًا كأن لم يسمعها كأن في أذنيه كأن في أذنيه وقرا. So that ayah, Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned that when our verses are recited unto him, walla mustakbira, then he turns away in a state of istikbar, arrogance and haughtiness, as though he never heard it. كأن في أذنيه وقرا. كأن, as though. في أذنيه, in أذني. أذني is two ears. أذن is a single ear. أذنيه is two ears. كأن في أذنيه وقرا. وقرا. وقرا is deafness. So Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying it is as though in his two ears there is deafness. Now, you're probably wondering why. Waqaran is mansubun and it's been delayed, and fi udhunayhi, which is shibhul jumlati, a prepositional phrase comprising of a harfu jar and an ismun, which is also has a damir muttasilun connected to it, therefore it's an idafa. You're probably wondering why waqaran is delayed, because that is one of the rules of delaying al-khabru in al-jumlatul ismiyya, not delaying al-khabru, delaying al-mubtada'u in al-jumlatul ismiyya if al-khabru is going to be a shibhul jumlati. And we explained that in one of our previous lessons. So if that doesn't make sense, then I highly recommend that you go back and watch that lesson again. Because one of the rules regarding al-jumlatul ismiyya and the order of al-mubtada'u and al-khabaru is that if al-mubtada'u if al-khabaru is going to comprise of shibhul jumlati, then it's going to be brought forward, and al-mubtada'u is going to be delayed as it is here. So it's like saying ka'anna waqran, deafness, fi udhunayhi is in his two ears. So again, nothing complicated about ka'anna. Nice and simple to understand and very useful to use in your speech. So we have inna, wa anna, wa ka'anna, and then the next one is lakinna. Lakinna. What does lakinna mean? Note, don't confuse lakinna with lakin. Lakin, as we know, is min hurufi al-atfi. It's min huruf al-atfi. This is lakinna, and it enters upon, as we know, like all the others, al-jumlatul ismiyya. But what meaning does it give rise to? We say it is al-istidraku and at-tawqid. So in that fashion, it is similar to inna wa anna. So lakinna, which usually is translated to mean however, it has two meanings: al-istidraku wa at-tawqid. What does al-istidraku mean? We know what at-tawqid means. It means an affirmation. So what does al-istidrak? Al-istidrak is to comment upon something. And you're commenting upon something in order to remove a doubt regarding what has already been said. So, to repeat that, al-istidraku is to comment upon a matter in order to remove a doubt concerning what has already been said. What does that mean in practice? If we say, for example, Sadiquka, which means your friend. Sadiquka, your friend. How do we say your friend is rich? Sadiquka ghaniyun. Sadiquka ghaniyun. Your friend Sadiquka ghaniyun. Lakinnahu, write it here. Lakinnahu, however, he, bakhilun, is a miser. That's a nice sentence, isn't it? Bakhilun. Hassan. So note, Sadiquka ghaniyun, your friend is ghaniyun. Lakinnahu, but he is bakhilun, miserly, or he is a miser. Now, what's the purpose of lakinna here? It is al-istidrak. It is al-istidrak, to comment and tawkid, to affirm the opposite of what's already been mentioned. So if we now say sadiquka ghaniyun, your friend is ghani, perhaps a person may surmise or come to the conclusion or deduce from your statement sadiquka ghaniyun that therefore he is jawadun, he is generous, karimun, kind, and so on and so forth, because all of these characteristics are what should be apparent from somebody who is ghaniyun, right? Because that's why Allah Azza wa Jalla enriched that person. However, your friend sadiquka is not either jawadun, he's not generous, he's not karimun, he's not kind, and so on and so forth. So in order to repel a doubt concerning your friend, what we say is lakinnahu, however he, bakhilun, is miserly. So we're saying that yes, he's ghaniyun, but don't think that he's generous and so on and so forth. Lakinnahu, because he, bakhilun, is miserly. So we have commented al-istidrak upon your friend, and then we have affirmed something else that happens to be the opposite. So, in regard to an example from Al-Quran, we could mention the ayah in Surah Yusuf, where Yusuf alayhi salam said, ذَلِكَ مِنْ فَضْلِ لله علينا وعلى الناس right, وعلى الناس. So now we're going to complete the ayah, but what's being said here from the statement of Yusuf alayhi salam, he said ذَلِكَ مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ عَلَيْنَا, i.e. he's talking about the worship of Allah Azza wa Jalla alone and following the millah, the deen of Ibrahim and Ishaq and Yaqub alayhim salam. So he's communicating this to the inmates in the prison. ذَلِكَ مِنْ, that is min fadlillahi alayna, that this deen is from the fadl of Allah alayna, upon us, wa ala nas, upon the people. However, what's the end of the ayah? وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ الناس لا يشكرون. Hasana. That is the end of the ayah, isn't it? That the Tawheed of Allah, the Deen of Allah Azza wa Jalla, as communicated by His Prophets and Messengers alayhim Islam, is from the Fadlillahi alayna wa ala nas. Is from the bounty of Allah upon us and upon the people. وَلَكِنَّ, however, and this is al-istidrak, أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ, most of the people. Note that أَكْثَرَ here is mansubun. Why is it mansubun? Because لَكِنَّ تَنْسِبُ الْمُبْتَدَأَ وَتَرْفَعُ الْخَبْرَ. It makes mansub al-mubtada, which is this, akthara. An-nasi is mudafun alayhi. La yashkurun. That is khabaru lakinna. And that, as we know, is fi mahalli raf'in, khabaru lakinna. But the point to note is Yusuf, lakinna here to comment upon that which came before, and then to affirm something different, which is most of the people لا يشكرون, do not show their gratitude. That therefore is لكن. What remains therefore? We have inna, anna, ka'anna, lakinna, and the next one is later. Later. This is an interesting one. Later. Why is later interesting? Because it gives rise to what we call a tamanni. A tamanni is to wish for something. A tamanni. A tamanni, as I said, it is to wish for something. But it's not likely to take place, or it's what you'd call wishful thinking. So it's something that you'd like to happen, but it's not really going to take place. If we say, for example, later, later, what does it mean? It means, how would we translate it as? Because the fi'l is tamanna, tamanna, he wished. We translate it in English, but usually as would that. Later, al-qa'ila, al-fa. Later, al-qa'ila, fa'ilun. That should be fa'ilun. Later, al-qa'ila, fa'ilun. Why should that be fa'ilun and not al-fa'ila? Because that, of course, is khabaru. Later, and the khabaru is, in general, it's an ismun, which is nakiratun. As in this instance, it's indefinite. So what does it mean? What does al-qa'ilu mean? Al-qa'ilu, from the verb qala, it's ismu fa'il of qala. It means the sayer, the speaker. Would that the speaker is fa'ilun, a doer. What does that mean? Later, al-qa'ilu fa'ilu. It means that would the one who speaks, meaning would the one who commends the good and forbid the evil and so on and so forth, would that he be the one who acts in accordance to, or generally that, you know, the people who speak about certain matters and encourage others to do it, would that all of them who do that also be individuals who action it themselves? Later, al-qa'ila, al-fa'ilu. And this follows the same rule as all the others, in the sense that later is it tansibu al-mubtada wa tarfa'u al-khabara. Later, al-qa'ilu, al-qa'ila rather, fa'ilun. So the end, the last ayah of Surah Naba. I'm sure you've all, inshallah ta'ala, committed Surah Naba to memory. The last ayah, the last part. يَقُولُ الْكَافِرُ وَيَقُولُ الْكَافِرُ يَا لَيْتَنِي كُنْتُ تُرَابًا. يَقُولُ الْكَافِرُ يا ليتني كنت ترابا. يا ليتني كنت ترابا. Right, we all have heard that ayah before. يقول الكافر, so Allah Azza wa Jalla is speaking about al-qiyamah. Al-kafiru, the one who disbelieved, yaqulu, he will say, so this is al-jumlatul fi'liya, he will say, al-kafiru, ya laytani, oh, laytani, would that I. So we know that we can attach a damirun muttasilun to all of these. So you can say innani, and annani, and ka'annani, and lakinnani, and laytani. Would that I, kuntu, I was, Turaban. I was Turaban. Turaban is dust or soil, meaning that he was deceased. The kafir will wish that he was deceased and in non-existence, lest in order to avoid the punishment that awaits him. But the point to note is here, later. Later. Then we have a ni, and now you're probably wondering, well, where is the ismun which is mansubun? And we know that ni, or the ya here, al-mutakallim, that is in the position of being mansubun. So we say fi mahalli nasbin ismu later. And kuntu turaban is khabaru later. Again, in our next lesson, bi'ithnillahi ta'ala, we will discuss the two areas or components of inna wa akhawatuha in greater detail. That's an example of the usage of later. So we come to the next one, which is la'alla, which is our final one. La'alla. What does la'alla mean? It's usually translated to mean perhaps, even though translating it to perhaps is not entirely accurate. Why? Because what does it actually mean? It means at-taraji. What does at-taraji mean? It means to expect that something will occur. So therefore it's the opposite of later. Later is to wish that something is going to take place that's not likely to. Lalla is to hope for something that's going to take place, that can take place, and that's the difference between them. So it's based upon the idea that you hope from, particularly when we're talking about in relation to Allah Azza wa Jalla, that you're hoping for good from Allah Azza wa Jalla. So if you say, for example, لَأَلَّا اللَّهَ يَرْحَمُنَا لَعَلَّ اللَّهَ, perhaps Allah, meaning hoping in Allah's rahmah, expecting it to take place. لَعَلَّ اللَّهَ, and again, like all the others, it makes mansubun al-mubtada'u, and it makes marfu'un al-khabaru. This is the ismu la'alla, and this is khabaru la'alla. And the meaning of it is that hoping that Allah Azza wa Jalla yarhamuna will have mercy upon us. Not particularly complicated, and if we take the ayah at the beginning of Surah Yusuf, in which Allah Azza wa Jalla said, Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyan right, inna, see, inna is used here again, at-tawqeed, but this time Allah Azza wa Jalla attached na to it, the damirun muttasilun. Inna, indeed we, anzalnahu, have revealed it, Qur'anan Arabiyan, Qur'anan is the mafulun bihi. Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyan, we have revealed it, Qur'anan Arabiyan, la'allakum, and that's the final part of it. Why did I write an alif there? La'allakum, la'allakum taqilun. تعقلون. So perhaps you تعقلون, you will think, you will use your aql to understand and then act in accordance with what Allah Azza wa Jalla has revealed from an Arabic Quran, which is the whole reason why we have spent so long studying and teaching this language, because Allah Azza wa Jalla revealed His book as a Qur'anan Arabiyyan. Why? لَعَلَّكُمْ, hoping that you, mankind, ta'qilun, will comprehend that which Allah Azza wa Jalla has revealed. So that is la'alla. These 6 therefore are from inna wa akhawatuha. Inna wa akhawatuha. We hope bi'ithnillahi ta'ala that explanation is clear. They're not particularly complicated to understand. You just have to remember the rule that they tarfa'u al-mubtada wa did I say tarfa'u? They tansibu al-mubtada and tarfa'u al-khabara. Very simple bi'ithnillahi ta'ala. In the following lessons we will discuss the constituent components of the 2 parts of inna wa akhawatuha in greater detail. We shall conclude on that point. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.